Hello everyone and welcome back to Sophie Loves. I'm here today with my June wrap up. This might have to be in two parts, but we'll see how we go today. But before I start, I want to show you a very exciting parcel that I got delivered. And it is from Sophie on YouTube. We've got very good names. She published a book and it came today and I'm super excited. It's from all the way from Australia and it is so cute. It's called Foxfur, A Dream Tale, and it says, her tongue is missing, how will she whisper to me in my dreams? That sounds really cute. I'm just looking inside. Oh, all the pages are different. And there's some pictures of foxes. I really like foxes, so that's really good. And raccoons. Yeah, I'm really excited for this. I'm going to read this. It shouldn't take me too long because it's quite sparse out on a page, and a lot of the pages are like instructions to I think they're short stories. So yeah, I'll do a review on that soon if you want. Comment down below if you want a review. I'm super excited to read this, and thank you very much, Sophie. I think there is, yeah, she signed it, and I've got a leaf. She said she was going to send everyone leaves, so I've got to Sophie XOXO. So thank you very much, Sophie, for that, and I hope that you sell loads and loads of these because this is beautiful. Right, so first my wrap up, I'm going to start with the novels and then I'll move into the graphic novels. Beginning of the month I finished on Audible, I'll do my Audible, The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. And this, I'm sure everyone's heard about it. It's about a girl from India and she moves to England and she finds a secret garden, makes friends with the young boy that nobody knows that lives in the house, and through going to the secret garden they become friends, and it's a really lovely book. Listening to it on Audible was actually a nicer experience, I think, than reading it, because it's one of those books that you can kind of just listen to but get on with other things. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed this, and I think I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads. So that's that one. Listen to is Armada by Ernest Cline. I've already spoken about this in my TBR wrap up, I think, because that was one of the books that I listened to. This is about a boy called Zach who plays games all the time, and he's lost his dad. He lives with his mum and he works at a comic book shop, or a game shop. I think it's a game shop actually that he works at. He plays games all his life and he doesn't realise that he's being trained for something more, and there's a war happening and he has to play video games in order to save planet Earth. So that was that. I listened to it, and Will Wheaton was the best bit about the book because the ending was a bit rubbish, but the actual lead up to the ending I thought was okay. If you want to read anything by Ernest Cline, definitely read Ready Player One first and then maybe read this. So that's that one. I gave it 3 stars again on Goodreads just because of Will Wheaton's voice, I think, because he's really, really good at all the voices. One is 1,000 Nights by E.K. Johnston. This is a 1001 Nights retelling. It's about a man that every night goes married and then to a woman, and then on the night of their wedding she dies of mysterious reasons, and we find out why in this book. Really nice. It was a very, very nice page turn, and the page is absolutely beautiful. You can see that. Really pretty. That is, I'll show you here. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. Nice book to read. If I've got The Wrath and the Dawn, so I'm not sure how that differs from the story, but this has a mystical, magical background to it. I'd really recommend that. I think I gave this 4 stars on Goodreads, but I really would recommend this. And the next one I read is Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson. This is a retelling of Peter Pan told about Tiger Lily from Tinkerbell's perspective. This was a 5-star read. I really enjoyed this book. It shows you the story of Tiger Lily that you wouldn't usually look at too much in Peter Pan. It's a really interesting character, and you really do feel sorry for her and her story. And there's lots of feelings in this book. I felt sadness, happiness all throughout reading this, and I think I read it in like 2 days because it's such a good book. It's a real page turner. So I'd really recommend this if you want a Peter Pan retelling. So that is that one. The next book is The Vagina Monologues by Eve Eisler. I'm sure everyone's heard about this. This is a adapted, I think it was a show first, then it was a book. It's of what they talk about in the play, all about based on women and feminism. Some bits of this kind of didn't really gel with. I didn't really link with any of it. But there's some stories that are really heartfelt, and it's all broken up. I read this in like a day, because it's not solid text. There's like poetry in here as well. I really would like to see this performed, because I think it would be much more engaging performed, and as it's meant to be performed as well. I've got the V-Day edition, which is about Valentine's Day and making it more aware about violence against women. So that was an interesting bit at the back. I would recommend this to read, but I would really like to see it, and I think it would be much more easier to take in if you see it. It's 3 stars on good. Douglas Adams, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I won't talk about this because I did talk about it in my TBR takedown wrap up, but I did give it 4 stars on Goodreads. The next one, again, this is Lady Midnight. I believe I gave it 5 stars. It's also in my TBR wrap up, so if you want to, that'll be in there. And the other books that are in my TBR wrap up will be this one, The Red Queen by Christina Henry, and I'll have a separate review about this. I've got a separate review about this on my blog, so if you want to see that, I'll link that down below. The next one is The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. I didn't enjoy this at all, really. I've also got it in my TBR takedown. It's on there. And we read this for our book club, as I mentioned before. We spoke about it last night, and we basically dissected the book, and it was very interesting what came out. So if you want me to do a separate video about that, I will. And I didn't really get along with this one. The last one, the TBR takedown that I read that I won't really speak about, is This Ball of Blue Thread by Anne Tyler. I think I gave this 4 stars on Goodreads, but I really enjoyed it, and if you want to hear more about my thoughts, it will be on my TBR takedown 4.0 video. Christina Henry, which is the first in the series. This is an Alice in Wonderland retelling, and it's quite dark. I have got a blog post about it. If you want to see that, again, I'll link my blog below. This is Alice is in an insane asylum, and she breaks out when there's a fire, and she has to go. She goes on a quest in order to see what's happened to her in the past and why she's in the insane asylum, and she meets characters like the walrus, the Cheshire Cat, and the rabbit, but they're characters that are very different from the Disney version, and they're very evil characters, and there's some really grotesque imagery in here. There's a character in here that stayed with me, it gave me nightmares. A woman they attached wings to her back, and you could see all the muscles moving inside, and that was really gross, but it's so intriguing, and I read this book so quickly because it's such a quick read and so engaging, and I gave this 5 stars on Goodreads, so if you want to read that. And The Red Queen I gave 4 stars, if I didn't mention that, so yeah, I've got all my posts about that, and I'll link that below. The last book that I read in June is The Boy Who Lost Fairyland. This is the Fairyland series, and this is the 4th book, I believe. This is by Catherine M. Valenti. This is a book, originally we have a character called September who gets taken to Fairyland, and she makes friends there. We've had books about her going to Fairyland, we've had books about her leading the rebels there, I think there's another one called. And this one's the 4th instalment. It's slightly different because it's based about a boy going to Fairyland instead of September, our usual character. He does meet September in this book, so she will be in there, but she's not very predominant. He's the main character, and he is a troll that gets transformed into a human and then gets taken to the human world, and they swap a human and transform him into a troll and put them in the Fairyland world, and it's about his adventures, and it's actually really nice little story. So going on to the comics, I have a really embarrassing one. Firstly, we'll get this one out of the way. I bought this ages ago, and just because it's memories of when I was younger, and that is Sailor Moon. It's Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon by Naoko Takeuchi. Sorry if I butchered that completely, but this is just the first story of Sailor Moon. I used to love Sailor Moon when I was younger, reminiscent of times when I was little. I used to watch the TV programme, and Sailor Moon, there's not much to say. Sailor Moon's a guardian of the moon, meets all of her group that they go fight evil together. It's really really, really poor storylines, but they're very easy to read. The next one I read is Saga, I'm Reading the Papers. This is number 36 by Fiona Staples and Brian K. Vaughan. Won't say anything much about this because I know people are reading the bind-ups, and if you're reading the bind-ups then you won't have a clue what's happening now because I'm quite far ahead of that. But the story's great, as usual. We've got more development, they keep throwing in more surprises, and when you just think it's going to get boring, it just keeps throwing you with new things. So I really would recommend staying with Saga. It's a very good comic series. And I have is Shampoo, and I ordered this online. It's by Liam Cobb. This is the LCAF winner, so if you see my LCAF haul, this is the winner of all the comics that we saw there. So I bought this, 3 stories in it. I didn't realise when I first read it. There's The Party, The Pool at 10,000 Feet, and Two Men in the Jungle. And there's not much text in here, but the artwork's really interesting. Some of the storylines I didn't entirely get, but I'll show you some of the artwork in there. My camera will probably go a bit funny now because there's loads of different colours. So yeah, The Party is about a woman, and her husband cheats on her at the party, and then she just goes into nothing. And Two Men in the Jungle eat something and makes them go crazy, and they end up being spirits within the jungle. So I'm not sure if that's like a metaphor for death or something, but it was interesting. It was a nice read. I think I gave that, this isn't on Goodreads, I believe, so if you know a way of putting things on Goodreads, let me know, because I'd love to put this on Goodreads. But if it was on Goodreads, I'd probably give it 3 stars. The Wicked and the Vine by Glennon McLeavy and Wilson Cowles. This is number 3, The Commercial Suicide, and I'm going to give up with The Wicked and the Vine now. I'm really sorry, but the first one I really enjoyed. And then it wasn't meant to go any further than that first bind-up, and it did, and I think it shows because the storyline is just the same thing repeating and repeating itself, and I just found myself thinking this is exactly the same as the first one, but with different characters. We don't get any plot development with I don't even know their names, that's how much it stays in my head. The older lady in this, why did she keep killing people? We don't know. The artwork's lovely, like I'll show you some of the artwork at the back. The artwork is very beautiful, but I just don't think I'm going to carry on with this. I probably gave this 2 stars on Goodreads, so it's a shame about that one. The next one I also read in my TBR takedown, so if you want to hear more about that, this is Brian K. Vaughan's Paper Girls. I really enjoyed this, and I'm going to carry on with the series 100%. I think I gave this one 4 stars on Goodreads. And the next comic is I Hate Fairyland by Stotty Young. This was really funny. I think I spoke about this in my TBR takedown again. Sorry, you're going to keep hearing this because the majority of the books I read was in that week. This is about a girl who gets stuck in fairyland. They send young children there to do these quests, and when they find the key, they get to go home. But this girl is now a 6-year-old's body. She is nearly 30, and she's still trying to find the key. And the ending is hilarious, and it's left it open for the next one. And I'm really looking forward to it. It is very gruesome in here, so maybe not for the young kids, but it is definitely a funny comic for adults. And the last comic, thank you for staying with me for so long, is Sex Criminals Volume 3. I read this last night, so just getting in quickly before the end of June. This came out on the 23rd of this month. This was really good. They have not robbed a bank in this one though, a little bit of a spoiler for you. It's a little bit deeper than that, and we get to know a bit more about the characters, and we get quite a few other characters introduced. We know more about her. I'm trying to show you pictures where she's not naked in them, because a lot of the time she is naked. There is a lot of nudity in this, a lot of craziness. I was reading and I was thinking, really? Did that just happen? But I won't ruin it for you. If you do want to read it and you have read the other 2 in the series, I would recommend picking up the 3rd because you won't be disappointed. I'm reading it in one video now. I'm going to do all the editing for it. That is all I read in June. I will be doing a July TBR. I have a massive July TBR sitting on my floor down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too long and too boring. And if you want to hear about any more of the books, or if you have any recommendations, please let me know. Have a lovely day, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye, YouTube.